there's a piece of the road that we deal with every single day that is starving for a refresh. Just kidding. But apparently right. Apparently this company thought it was.
One of those things. It's
I'm
like,
talking
if it ain't broke.
redesigned traffic lights. And not just traffic lights, but the entire approach to traffic lights.
I'm so curious to see what this looks like and acts like. And
it's so weird. So
is this one of those like integrated technologies where like it's going to work with the cars of the future where like they can all read it and get through it quicker and stuff like that?
No,
that would
at
be
all,
better.
actually.
Oh,
but it's way more satisfying than regular traffic lights.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to Third Pedal Podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Zach.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome back, guys.
First off, thank you everybody for joining the Facebook group.
Yeah.
This has been so cool. If you haven't, if this is the first you're hearing of it, Third Pedal Podcast Crew on Facebook. It's branded like the rest of our show, very orange. But yeah, check it out. It's where we're posting, like, instead of, we get a lot of messages, a lot of DMs on like whatever your current build is. We'll get some on. Here's a meme. Here, a lot of make it or break it clips, which we have not forgotten about. We're going to bring them in.
Yeah.
Kind of wish we would have prepped it for that. We'll do it next time.
We'll get to it.
We got a lot of those in there. And it was, it'd come to our inbox and we'd like text each other and think it's funny. We'd like it. We'd reply to you guys individually. But there was never, you guys have known, there's not been enough time to like put it in the episodes. So we started the Facebook group so that you guys could share it there. So we can pick and choose. We can grab stuff for episodes, but everybody can see it. Like, it doesn't have to go through us as a filter anymore. You guys can see it, post it there, your builds, whatever you're working on. There's been a lot of really cool stuff posted there
It's
already.
been so cool to see. Like, obviously we do this thing, we put it out and people message us a lot and send us their things that they're working on. But to have the group there and people sharing like, hey, these are our builds and these are the cars. This is the car that it's been kind of a trend to be like, this is my daily driver. This is like my fun car.
Yeah.
Like several people have posted that.
Yeah. That's like the intro post thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. So that's like for everybody joining, I kind of started it and then a bunch of people followed, which was awesome. We didn't say like, hey, here's a policy. Like when you join, do your intro post, but like do your intro post when you join. Now we're saying it.
It's the policy now.
It's the policy now. Like just post about, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Even if you don't have a car, just be like, hey, I don't have a car. This is the car that I want to get.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do to it. Or if you have a car, tell us a little bit about it. Apparently we're the slowest cars.
We have the most boring cars. So that's
there's
neat.
like some, and all spectrums too. There's, do we have the drift? Yeah, we have the drift end.
Yes.
I think of cars.
Yeah.
We have like legitimate drag cars.
Yeah.
Like legitimate,
Like
not
scary fast drag cars.
Yeah. Like legitimate drag cars. And then resto mod cars and classic cars and
200 mile an hour trucks.
yeah.
And Teslas.
We have all ends, all aspects of fast is on that group, which is so cool to see.
And a bunch of not fast too, like just regular daily driver type stuff. That's on there too. Like there really is no limit. There's been people sharing. There was some hilarious memes that have been on there. Some good like project stuff that has been like, hey, this is what I kind of have in the pipeline, and seeing what everybody's working on.
Yeah, I've shared a few things from like Lamborghini. I follow Lamborghini on Facebook, and I've shared a few things from them. Some different stuff that they're coming out with. That's been kind of fun, and some other memes and
it's been really neat. It's been sort of like a wedding, and I ran this by Zach, and see if you guys are here for it. It's like a wedding where you're sitting at the reception, and like your family's there, your friends are there, like your spouse's family's there, their friends. It's this whole group of people, and they're all like mingling and getting to know each other, and you're like, wow, like my whole world is like meeting now. All these circles are colliding, and that's kind of how it's been here. It's like we've seen a lot of you guys, like a lot of people who regularly send us stuff on Instagram, and then a lot of people who regularly interact or who we've met from TikTok, and then people from YouTube, and then people from real life, and then people from family, and like all these circles like commenting, roasting, laughing together about cars. Like we have two different trucks that like kind of look similar. Like
not gonna lie, I thought they were the same one for a while.
Yeah, like performance mater is what I'd call the genre.
Yes. Dude.
And so like
Moss.
but like one of them is from here and one of them is like one of them is a drag car from here, one is a 200 mile an hour version out in Utah, I think, somewhere out there.
Yep.
But it's been really cool. So it's been neat to see those circles
one of them's
coming
local?
together. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
We should.
I've witnessed it. It sounds amazing.
All right. We're going to check that thing out.
Yes. So on that note, we wanted to cover a couple like, we got to do more of this, but we wanted to bring some of the content that's been posted up onto the show here. So I need to, I don't know why, I can never remember how. Boom, recording. So we've got posts like this where this is my awesome brother-in-law with legit drag car and legit amount of humbleness about said drag car. But this is something that he's building, a big project that he's working on. Big block engine. I'll be fully transparent. I don't 100% know what I'm looking at. I know this
Isn't that just intake manifold?
Yeah, intake manifold, but I know this is the nitrous setup for the said intake manifold. So that's exciting.
A giant carburetor? or like that's like velocity stacks or whatever you call them, right?
Don't know, dude. We're gonna have you on. I'm so sorry.
All the V8 guys are like,
we're losing people. But Bo's posting stuff like this. Who else is starting to get parts for their winter project? And like, okay, that, and then like the first comment, giant turbo stuff that they're working on. So everybody's cooler than us. So we've got stuff like that going on the page. We've had this, which was like a cool milestone awesome. I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
Shad from Red Rock Resto, he has obviously a pretty sweet 240 in Forza Horizon 5, but he actually made the Third Pedal Podcast logo and he put it on his car there. So he built this thing from scratch in Forza, and now it's available. Everybody can get this and apply it to their car. We actually had a few people like an S2000, 944. Putting on their cards, sharing it with us.
That was cool to see. It's really like surreal to see our logo in a video game.
Yeah, like something we photoshopped just so we could go on a road trip together.
Or in real life, like, you just see people's videos and they have our stuff on. It's like,
it's like whoa. I don't know why I made that sound. That was weird. It was like probably inappropriate for that
cartoon getting drowned.
So here's the file is available. The creator, Minecraft Shad 7. The description is Third Pedal Podcast. If you guys search on I don't know where it is on there for sure. I think it's the vinyl group library thing. Throw it on. If you guys play Horizon 5, throw it on your car. We were talking about like, we want to do like a big livery for the Safari 944. And it'll be like fully decked out for the show. And like, maybe we even host like a contest, like, hey, show us some designs in Forza, and whatever one gets the most likes, we'll do that to the car. Something like that. But yeah, check it out. So thank you so much, Shad, for actually making this.
Yeah,
in Forza.
That's super cool.
Again,
super
bucket list item I didn't know I had. Then there's other stuff like this,
dude.
Which James, my guy, it's so vague. You get the plan. And
you get the plan.
We get two photos. One is of a 97 Geo Tracker lowered without an engine. Oh, I guess maybe the engine's still in it in that shot, missing most of the front fascia. And then to the left is a Chevy 350, and apparently he explains it in such a car guy way to be like, well, there's a 1.6, I was smoking, I was having some issues, so I just figured while it's out, I'll put in a Chevy 350 and a whole bunch of stuff. So
that's a pretty extreme while I'm in there.
That's I think you win that award, buddy. But like crazy stuff like this and a bunch of, it's been just cool to see a bunch of comments too, asking about builds, asking about details, things like that. And then we've got this guy, which is probably one of my personal favorites on the page so far. We have Mr. Alec.
Yes.
He's previous neighbor of yours, the guy who wrenches on your car a lot.
And we were talking about this earlier too.
Yeah.
When I've since moved from there, but when I first moved to that house that was next to him, this Coupe Quattro was just in the yard next to the garage and like half covered in a tarp, but like you could see the front 3/4 of it, I think. I remember texting it to you guys and being like, I think this is a Coupe Quattro.
Yes.
And then like getting to know Alec over the years. I know, I promise. Getting to know him over the years and like seeing this thing progress to like, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, getting to actually go for a ride in it.
Yeah.
And like right now he's super humble about the build itself and like how talented he actually is.
Nice.
Not that I have some crazy stuff done to my car, but like all of the go fast stuff to my car was done by him.
Yeah.
And like just super, super expertly done.
Yeah.
He does some really cool content too. City Neck Racing, if you guys want to check his stuff out. But he posted about this, way too humble about how cool it actually is on like the art.
He's like,
that's in that
it's
engine
just a
bay.
thing. Yeah.
So much custom fabrication, all that stuff, and the plans for it are just amazing to be big turboed and like
And for those, those just listening are not familiar, this thing is an 07K Audi Coupe Quattro. So he put in the modern 2.5 liter 5-cylinder into this thing. And he has not stopped badgering me about putting that in my 944 ever since I mentioned I was a little bit interested.
We got to make that happen.
100%.
Gotta make that happen.
100%.
Even with the rally build.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you want to go fast off road?
Yes. I mean, greatly so, yes. I don't know if I have a wallet for that.
Right.
So we'll see. But no, I mean,
podcast.com/shop.
Get some merch. We want to put an 07K. But no, the car is gorgeous. It's really cool to see it to this point. I know he's got big plans beyond this too. So anyway, there's a few excerpts from the group. Go join it. Third Pedal Podcast crew on Facebook. We're going to put a link. I mean, there's a link everywhere that you can get to it. But go check it out. Public group. Share it with your car friends. Get everybody in there. It's been really cool. So speaking of all these cool engines and projects and things that we're learning about from people who are not us, there's an interesting engine coming back. We definitely didn't try to record this already and fall flat on our face. So it has to do with Frito-Lay and a man named Robert.
Okay.
And that's right. I'm talking about Doritos. I'm talking about rotaries. Mazda's bringing a rotary engine back, but not like the RX-7.
Does Robert own Mazda?
Rob Dahm.
Oh, yes.
Rob Dahm, the legend.
He basically owns
Yeah, he has to have a
Doritos.
majority stake at this point. Yeah. Either in Frito-Lay or Mazda. He's got to own some stock in Doritos
They
somewhere.
should give him some legacy share.
They should.
I think.
So
that only seems fair.
retro. It's like doesn't mean anything, but it's honorary. So
it doesn't mean anything. He's just like cool.
Sweet. And then he just
kind of like Blockbuster bucks or what was the thing that they had that like everybody had a bunch of?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of like FTX coins at this point.
So the Mazda. So they're bringing back the rotary, but it's in kind of a weird application. So instead of going motorsports route, they're actually using it as a generator for a plug-in hybrid. So they're coming out, I forget what number this thing is, the MX-30. So there's going to be an MX-30 EV and an MX-30 REV. So this is like
like rotary electric vehicle. Is that what they're doing?
Oh, probably. That's probably what the R stands for. So the premise of this car, it's kind of like sort of looks like a Mazda 3. It's like a little hatch kind of a thing.
Well, the CX-30 is nothing new. MX-30. The CX-30 is nothing new.
Okay.
It's a compact SUV like that.
Okay.
I test drove a couple years back when they first came out.
Yeah. So
they're good cars.
So with this car, there's two versions. The electric version kind of feels useless to me. It's 100 miles of range only. Electric.
Is that for sure?
Yeah.
It's like they literally are making an electric only model that only has 100 miles of range.
Yep.
For who?
I don't know.
It's a golf cart then. Right?
Well, so do you remember Volkswagen did this too? They came out with the e-Golf. Yeah. In 2016. They did this like a while ago.
Oh, that's right. They were kind of testing waters on it.
And same deal. 120 miles of range. However.
Wait. 2016?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same year that they also had like the
Dieselgate stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's hilarious. They're like making up for it.
Yeah. They're
like that was their subconscious.
Look at our
like,
electric car.
We are good for environment.
I can't
trust
do a
us.
German accent lately.
What accent was that? Was that German?
You did good.
Oh,
I can't
think
figure
the
it
same
out.
thing.
I don't know what I did. So
sounds the same to me.
I mean, my thought was like that's almost a decade ago, and they're still like Mazda's like I can do 100 miles, and they're like
yeah. Like anything, I feel like sub 300 miles range.
Yeah,
it's like
weird.
Don't even make it.
It's weird.
It seems like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like that's what everybody's shooting for,
right?
And like my car, I think I can get like 350 miles on a full tank, something in that ballpark. Yeah. And like I'm filling up a few times a week.
Yep.
So like I could never do something that's 100 miles.
No, 100 would be nuts. I mean, 100, I couldn't get here for that.
No,
like, it wouldn't be worth it. So anyway, avoiding the electric version, the rotary one's really interesting. So they're going to bury a 800cc rotary engine up in the hood area, and this is a generator for the battery pack. So
that's super interesting.
Like it's designed to just supplement and extend the range of it. So I think electric only with the REV, it's only going to be able to do about 50 miles. Range, which is
an electric only.
Okay,
but so what are they lowering the battery pack content in order to fit in this gas tank and generator essentially?
Yep. Okay. So with that, but with the rotary engine running, you have a range of about 373 miles.
Oh,
so
that's reasonable.
It averages, it says about 283 miles per gallon. So
that's crazy.
And so that's the goal. Is like this thing is just use this as a generator to. It's not gonna like maintain. It's not a perpetual motion thing. You just put gas in and you're good to go. But instead of your battery dropping off quickly, it gives you like a more gradual decline there.
Are you sure that's how that works?
Yeah.
That logic I get. I think logic
how
makes
would that
sense.
not be how it works?
But would it be okay? So
because I think depending on your needs, if you're like punching it and stuff, you're gonna drain the battery faster.
Let's just say there's a bucket of water, and it loses when the car is driving. It averages losing water. I know I just did car and water. We're not there yet. Bucket of water. It loses. It loses a gallon per minute. Let's just say.
Okay.
And the generator can supply up to a gallon per minute.
Yep.
Okay. So the bucket itself is 100 gallons. Let's just say it's a big bucket, and this is the wrong. Whatever. It's 100. So like, you can't go that far on its own.
Yeah.
And you can't necessarily direct drive like just like the generator to the engine to drive it, right?
Okay. But because it needs a storage point.
But the generator can fill the bucket as fast as it's being drained, so it keeps it. No, that's not. No, because then it wouldn't have. Then it would have unlimited range.
Well, no, because it has.
No, because then it would still have
it
gas
runs out of gas.
So it could still run out of range.
I don't know, man.
Hey, Mazda, tell us how this thing works.
The point is, it's got a rotary
somebody
engine.
who knows how this stuff works is losing their mind right now. They're like,
brutal.
This episode is called Outtakes. Wait, I want to do one of those cool. Yeah,
pretty cool.
That was cool.
So this car, it's going to be available in. Doesn't say. Wonderful.
Wait. Go back to the top. I just saw RX-8.
First rotary since the
first
RX-8.
rotary since the RX-8.
So it's an interesting concept for a car.
Totally.
I mean, we've talked about this before with like generators and electric vehicles, and why not combine both? So you've kind of got like you have electric cars in like a bucket, and then there's hybrids, obviously, like Prius, stuff like that.
But the cool thing, this is like backwards hybrid, right? Because hybrids, as we know it right now, is an ICE engine driving the wheels, and then a battery, an electric system as kind of backup, where like you can go electric up until 25 miles an hour, and then it goes like kicks in the motor, like
that
this
beautiful
video.
car. It's like the fifth time we've posted it.
Is it really? It's so cool.
It's so
though.
good. It's worth it. It's worth it.
So maybe, the Prius, have you ever driven a Prius?
No.
The Prius does that.
Yeah.
Like this.
But less.
But yeah, it just like it's the regular little 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder, whatever it is.
But yeah, you've got that. So those are the two buckets. And then you've got Toyota with their weird like hydrogen concept, which is probably a little closer. Right. Yeah. Because then you have this like a generator, but like in the article too, it's talking about there's no mechanical connection between the engine and the wheels at all. Like the engine is literally just there to be a generator for the battery packs to be able to support it that way. So it still is running 100% electric. That's all. That's what's running. It's just using a generator the same way that
help replenish.
Yeah, it's just that's its energy production source pretty much. But it's really interesting. One thing I thought was really really cool is they're going to be featuring Dorito shaped badging on this vehicle.
Was that legit?
It seems legit. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I don't know how much of this car is actually like.
So they're like fully embracing the whole the meme. They're a little late, I feel like, on like.
It is there. It's up on the front.
That's hilarious.
That's so cool. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that they're bringing like this is exciting for me because like they're bringing the rotary motor back. So it's not dead. They're resurrecting it. It's very small. It's not very useful for stuff we're interested in.
Well, how big was the original?
I mean, it wasn't much bigger, but I don't think it was 800 cc.
Because that's 0.8 liters, right?
Yeah,
it's like less than a liter.
Right.
That's pretty small.
So what I'm excited about is if Mazda's doing, I don't know what Mazda does like motorsports wise, but if they're getting into motorsports, they're going to need to test. If they have a lot of these, like this engine is going to run like a long, long time at whatever. Like generator engines run differently than like a regular power plant engine because they're not running through RPMs all the time. They're just kind of like sustaining.
They're not under as much load either.
Right. They're under like a consistent load all the time. Yeah. So I'd imagine they want to do some more R&D when it comes to like Apex Seal technology and all that other, all the other components of things that I won't even pretend to know about because rotaries blow my mind. But they're going to have to do some more R&D with that stuff. So I'm curious if they're going to bring some more motorsports back with with a rotary platform or something to test that out, to push the technology further. And then wondering what that's going to be for like the future, like a Mazda Speed 3 or something like that, Mazda Speed 6 or something that can come back with it. So could be interesting.
The original rotaries were stackable.
Right.
So this is only 0.8 liter.
Right.
Right.
But theoretically, it's stackable.
Could they make an RX-9, let's say? Like everybody is reliving the past right now.
Yep.
With the Supra and the 400Z.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it, I guess. Those are the only two really that have come back.
And the WRX, I mean Toyota Corolla.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like the motorsports stuff kind of like resurfacing sorta.
Right.
With like with the Supra obviously partnered with BMW, but still like straight 6 single turbo platform, now in manual finally. The 400Z still being a twin turbo V6 manual.
Right.
Like I could totally see a RX-9, like a reimagined coupe that's like a 3-rotor, 2 or 3 rotor, whatever they would make it.
That'd be sweet.
This thing that they've been testing in their hybrid.
That'd be sweet.
And now they've like perfected. They're like, oh, we have like 2 million running hours on these things.
Right.
We've figured out the seals.
What if they go like rear, like they go kind of
like supercar-esque?
Yeah, like they go rear wheel drive via rotary and front wheel drive via electric. And they do like a weird, like an all-wheel drive RX-9.
That could be interesting.
That's like, or they either do that route or they go like hot hatch and they go like little hatch with a single or a 2-rotor and turbocharged or something, or that same rear wheel drive front wheel electric, or vice versa, front wheel drive rear wheel electric could be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't
could be that way.
There's a lot of possibilities.
I could see an RX-9 coming back as like a more like the Supra and 400, where it's like traditional, long hood coupe.
That's true.
With a 2 or 3 rotor.
That's true. Well, and it seems like, it seems like there's demand for that kind of stuff because there is. The 400's that, the Supra's that. If they made, I mean, that would be interesting if they, wow, what a weird world we'd be living in. If there's brand new Supras, 400Zs, and a very long hood version of like bringing back like a FD RX-7 kind of like a new thing like
so
that.
You'd have your RX-7s, because GTRs, they're still around.
That's right.
The RX-7s, GTRs, well, not RX-7s, but whatever.
Right.
RX somethings,
X.
GTRs, Supras,
yep,
and Z cars.
Weird.
Like all at a meet again.
Yeah. Hey, Subaru. Catch
Who else is
the
missing
drift.
out? Who else was around at that time that's not really doing anything anymore?
I mean, the 240s were the big thing, but if you've got a 400, like 400s were never that, I don't think, but like it's cool that it's back. Like that's neat that there's a Z car again. So I mean, you got that. Yeah, what was the other like GTR thing?
Pretty much just that, I think.
I feel like we're missing a very obvious one right now.
I guess like the
no, it was like the GTR and the Supra
and stuff. I'm just thinking of like,
yeah, we're basically thinking of Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
so we're trying to run through that.
That is the standard of 90s car culture, isn't it?
100%. No, it is cool. So it's cool to see that like all that stuff is kind of returning. Again, it'll be interesting to see when this thing hits the road and what the actual real world numbers are for it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they're talking like getting that type of mileage without having to rely on just battery all the time. That's kind of cool because like now with an electric car, you can go fill it up instantly and then keep going. Theoretically, I'm curious though. You bring up a great point though on what does that whole battery
like how fast can it
gas
refill the bucket?
Yeah, like
versus
is
how
it
fast
legit?
Is it
just go fill it with gas and you can keep going for another 300
that
miles.
Would be,
or is there some other? And I think we'd been talking about this earlier too. Like, is it if the battery drains down to a certain point, can the gas engine keep up in charge, or do you have to go charge it somewhere, or what does that look like?
I imagine a 1-to-1 is impossible just because of heat. Like,
well, yeah, like the laws of thermodynamics, right? Like it should.
Or could they program it well enough to like limit how fast you can accelerate, how fast you can go?
Yeah.
Because you're going straight from the generator to the electric engine. Like, could you technologically limit it enough that could be possible? Or are we talking about something that's like, because there'd have to be some sort of switch in the pathway of the electricity, because you couldn't go fill the battery, drain the battery at the same amount that it's being filled.
Right.
Like, batteries just don't work like that. They're either being charged or they're being drained.
Right.
I think.
Right. It's just like life. You're either moving forward or moving backwards.
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother. But anyway, so I thought that was cool.
Awesome.
We'll see. The Dorito's not dead, so it'll be interesting to see what happens from there. Where do you want to go from here?
I want to hear about this next point.
You want to go there?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody, there's a piece of the road that we deal with every single day that is starving for a refresh. Just kidding. But apparently right. Apparently this company thought it was.
One of those things.
I'm like talking redesigned traffic lights. And not just traffic lights, but the entire approach to traffic lights.
I'm so curious to see what this looks like and acts like. And
it's so weird. So
is this one of those like integrated technologies where like it's going to work with the cars of the future, where like they can all read it and get through it quicker and stuff like that?
No, at all, actually.
Oh,
but it's way more satisfying than regular traffic lights.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
I'll caveat this to say this isn't like this isn't actually proposed as a traffic light thing.
Right. There's no like nobody's trying to use this right now.
This is like this was a proposal product to say like, hey, what if we did X? So
lights of the future.
Gotta make sure you can see this one. Right?
Whoa. Oh,
yeah,
that was kind of cool. This is like, what is Apple making these?
So what they're proposing
just
is,
LED.
I believe, OLED screens.
Oh.
And the thought is, like right now, like traffic lights have been the same for a very, very long time. They're based on location. They have, they're all at a specific spot, which I guess I didn't realize. Like green's always on bottom, yellow's in the middle, red's on top, always. So like people who are colorblind, can know like top is stop. Oh, I wonder if that's why, because it rhymes. That's how I'd remember it.
Top is stop.
Bottom is go. That rhymes.
Goes below. Top is stop, goes below.
And in the middle, you be slow. So these are the two different sizes that they're proposing.
Okay.
Already, like interface is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So this is a design firm that's pitching this. And they have reasoning, they have explanations behind all of it. I'll just read their thing. Task to reimagine traffic lights. For the last 100 years, traffic has been regulated by 3 colored circles, red, amber, and green. This now iconic look was shaped by the spherical incandescent lamps, which were initially used.
Just like car headlights.
Right. So it's like we got boxed into something because of how it was before.
Yeah.
As technical restrictions no longer exist, we can now make traffic lights look however we want them to look. So we got together with a design industry to reimagine traffic lights for the future, here and now. So what they're proposing is you don't have to be limited by that anymore. You can still keep the location of where the signals show up. So on bottom, middle, top, but the whole screen can change, and you can have these weird in-betweens of like, if it's a left turn only, if there's something specific that's supposed to happen for somebody, you can show that all in a lot of different ways using these screens. And they specifically designed them with the same footprint as current traffic lights, so they could be replaced like one-to-one. It wouldn't be redesigning the whole location of where it needs to go. This is where they're saying, with old traffic lights, people who have color vision disorders identified signal by its location. With the new design, this clue is preserved with pictograms on where they would expect them to be. So they maintain a really high contrast ratio. Yep. Same deal. The whole thing's changing. Green, yellow, red. So kind of cool.
Interesting.
So previously, in order to distribute the flow of traffic going in different directions at difficult intersections, cities had to pay extra to have additional sections installed. In the usual 3-circle format, it was the only way to solve the problem. With these new traffic lights, all the signals fit neatly onto one screen. So what they're talking about is, if you had like a weird turn that you had to have like an arrow involved in, you got to build another block on. You got to add something else onto it. So what they're showing is here, it can be everything. So it can say how much time is left on it. It can say you can turn right. This is how much time you have left. It's doing it all in one screen. So if you have a traffic change, if something happened, you just update whatever the software is on it. If it's closed for traffic, whatever.
I don't think it would take all that long to adopt, because like that is confusing me.
Right
off the bat.
Yep.
But it would be so nice to have that timer on there.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Right. So with
reimagining all these traffic lights, there's already like the Teslas already read the lights ahead of you, and the Audi, do you remember the Audi e-tron thing that it would do? It could read the light in front of you, and it would do the timer based on like historical data of those lights and stuff. It would give you the timer of like,
that's cool,
how long until it's going to turn red.
That's really cool. I don't remember that.
So like you could have this communicate with the vehicles. That'd be easy enough. Similar to how like the Apple Maps and Google Maps do this too, where they show how much traffic is in any given spot based on like location of phones and stuff like that. Like you could do the same thing, communicating back and forth. That's super cool.
So that's how they're doing it there. So then they propose all these different, these are like examples of it. So satisfying. Obviously, design company did this.
Well, yeah.
So like it looks beautiful, but
so I agree. Would be OLED screens, so they would be visible in any light.
Right. Super, super bright, super vivid. And it would be, I mean, I think the proposal was that it's like a higher
like bouncing.
Yeah, like they're all, just how they like pop in and everything. It's really cool. Really, yeah. The arrow ones kind of confuse me, and it feels like it's an exit sign to me.
It's a green arrow,
right?
Yeah, yep. Green arrow. You got a minute left. 15 seconds going for it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's really interesting. So they show it rendered in some places. It looks really.
That's
cool.
rendered. That's not an actual.
No, just rendered.
Okay.
Yeah, none of this is real. So then coming soon is the second concept for a square light. So this guy, just using a few different instances, they say it's square because it can double as an interactive road sign for a whole bunch of different road signs that already exist.
Sure.
So it could be a lot of different things. So I think they have to get to an animation. Yeah, so it's showing like how it would cycle through some of these. So if it needs to change,
modern car too. That's funny.
Right. So yeah, if it needs to like show something different, it could double as something like that, or this could replace square signs on the roads too, so that it could be a little bit of everything. So if there's a traffic alert, if there's something that pops up, you could have like an interactive thing. You don't have to put extra signage up.
I just thought of.
Oh no,
because these are customizable, right?
Yeah.
Like you can make your turn, but you have to watch like a 15-second commercial first. It's like YouTube.
Oh, weird. Are they going to monetize stoplight? So you're sitting at your stoplight, and there's like all over. It's
there's no tolls anymore, but you can't go forward
until you watch your 15-second ad.
Yeah. And then you can pay for your passport, whatever.
Yeah, your iPass will be like your YouTube premium for the road.
So people are there's like the two lanes, and the lanes are going through, and you're just sitting there like,
you're like,
That's funny.
So here's they start showing like all the different icons that could be.
Well, those are very easily readable. Like at a glance, pretty much knowing what you need to do there.
Right. So, and I'm sure, like you said, there's a lot of like adoption that would need to happen. But yeah, like look at, they got like the dude, like it walks. They had the one, that guy was checking his watch while he's sitting there and waiting for it. I think this one here. Yeah.
That's
like looking
funny.
But yeah, they're all like, I think they have a couple more animations. Yeah.
Yep.
So just like really simple, really minimal, but you can like see what's going on, and then it's all changing and showing examples of things. Really cool though.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy here, there's a camera built into the traffic light's visor, so you can analyze the situation on the road and keep an eye on the flow of vehicles around you. Don't know what that means, but that got creepy.
I think that was an explanation for a different thing.
I don't think it is.
Well, it's cameras for running red lights. I mean, for tracking.
Right.
So the cool
I thought
thing
you meant for a different product. No, I get what you're saying. It's not for like your benefit. It's for like the cities or whatever. They could use AI to like analyze what's going on in all these to try to optimize lights.
The thing is, like we all know, everybody knows watching this. Okay, there's a stoplight in your town.
Yeah.
That's like, this has no business being this long.
Right.
There's no reason this should be this long.
Right.
Like there's one leaving my job, my office. The one, if you want to turn, obviously you can turn right on the red.
Right.
But it's timed.
Okay.
And like, it's like 5 minutes, it seems like. Like it's so long.
So if you hit red, you're like, sweet, I'm going to be here forever. And
yeah.
There's no one else
especially if
here.
I have to turn left. And I've often turned right and then just do a U-turn at the next intersection. And I still beat it.
Wow.
Coming that way. Like it's super, super slow.
Weird.
So what this could do with AI is it could change the duration of the lights based on time of day, based on average traffic, because we know that stuff now through Google and through all of our phones communicating with each other. We know that stuff now. And it could change it based on the actual live data.
Mm-hmm.
So like if there's a camera, the quality of camera now is so good, especially with distance.
Right.
It could see like, okay, there's one guy sitting here and there's a bunch of cars coming, but they're not coming for a while.
Right.
So let's pop the lights red.
Right.
Let's get this guy go.
Yeah.
And then let's change that again before those cars even make it here and not stop the flow of traffic.
Right.
Like, I bet the AI systems could figure out a way to, especially in big cities, to like change the flow of traffic so much.
Right.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
That's it. I guess I didn't think about that because like we've talked about like do self-driving cars and EVs and stuff, do those improve traffic flow because they're all communicating? We use the joke of like it's like a train and like you're just kind of joining the train of everybody going together. Yeah. But maybe this is a way to do it for people who don't have like for the whole road. It's not just for the people with these fancy new cars, but like everybody. You're optimizing traffic flow inside cities and everything.
Yep.
Giving special priority to public transit and stuff like that. And so could be interesting.
The thing is people just have to take the cues from that stuff.
Right.
Like,
so
all right, red, stop, now it's green, go.
Right. So they have a couple different rendering stuff like that.
I think the timers would help though. Like if you're looking ahead and you see a green light and you can clearly see like there's 15 seconds left, you're like, okay, I know for sure I can get through it. I'm not even going to bother slowing down. Because some people slow down too early and then it's green and yellow and like, you know, or some people rush through them and then accidents happen. Like,
yeah. So
I think that would help a lot.
So yeah. So there you go. There's your pitch on proposed new direction for headlights.
Interesting.
Or headlights for traffic lights in general. So yeah, let us know what you guys think.
Super interesting.
It's weird. It's definitely done by like a design firm, like I said. So it's meant, and like design being cool. like a creative design firm. So it's not at a point that they're pitching this to anybody yet. I think a lot of the renderings were over in the UK for this, but it's interesting. So let us know what you guys think. Would you like to see a redesign of street signs in general? Do you think that's going to cause way more chaos than it's worth? What would be the pros and cons for something like that? It does seem, as we talked about the traffic flow thing, that does seem interesting because we all have that stupid light in our city.
Yep.
That is, some of them do react to like who's where and what's going on. Some of them are just straight timer.
Yeah.
And straight timer ones drive me up a wall.
Well, and if they're primarily software driven rather than like sensors in the road, right, where they like cut them in, like the weight sensors.
Right.
Like that stuff can break so easily.
Right.
Maybe not so easily, but you got to dig up the road.
No, it can,
to
but like
those,
floor loops are a pain because it's that. Now you got to send a whole crew out. You got to do a whole thing. If you can just have AI software analyzing stuff and going from there.
Well, yeah. And if it was just essentially a screen and a small computer board and a camera.
Right.
Like, and I'm sure that draws a low enough amount of power that you could probably run it on solar.
Right.
Be my guess.
Right.
Like if it's just swapping that out.
That's true. It's just its own little self-contained thing.
Just like, slap a new one on when it goes bad.
Well, it says in here they're all 5G, so they're all just communicating with each other. So it's less about like it all being wired in too. It's just its own network of stuff. So
when storms happen, all the lights would still be bad.
Yep.
Just like they are now.
Yeah, same deal.
That like when bad storm comes through, and then it's just like all the lights just all blink red.
Yes.
Like figure it out. It's a stop sign now. It's like the busiest intersection in town. Like figure it out.
Yeah, it'll just say like no service on it instead now.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be that error 404 window. I feel like
error 404 sign not found.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of what we got to share
pretty cool.
this week. I think that's a good place to stop for this week.
I think so too.
Sounds good. I think my brain's fried. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Go join the Facebook group and
we'll see you on there.
Catch you on the flippity.
Peace.